Hi, everybody. How's it going? So, how's the fishing season? Is it going good for you? No? You're having some issues finding the fish? Okay, well, I tell you what. Why don't we go over some signs, at least 5 of them, that you're fishing in the wrong spot, and maybe I can help you alleviate not finding the fish. Okay? So, this is for beginners, yes, but also some of you pros out there may want to listen in as well. All right, so what are the 5 signs that you're fishing in the wrong spot? I mean, other than the fact you're not catching anything. Well, for you new people out there, it does matter where you go, and it does matter the conditions, and you need to look for certain things. If you go to a fishing spot anywhere along a river or along the shoreline of a small lake or something like that, and you see other anglers pulling up, you'll notice they'll do one thing. They'll get out their car, they'll walk over to the water, they'll kind of stand there for a minute with their hands on their hips. They'll look around, they'll look in the air, they'll go over and look in the water, they'll walk down the shoreline a little bit. What are they doing? Well, they're searching to see if there's any fish activity, any activity that could indicate that there are fish there. If there are, they'll unpack their car and they'll sit down and they'll fish. If they're not happy with the conditions, they will move. They will go somewhere else. And that's what they're doing, is they're checking for the conditions and signs that say there are fish there. So what are they? And, if you come across these, any of these at any time, it may mean to pick up your stumps and move to another location. All right, so let's take a look. So let's stop wasting time and let's start catching fish, all right? Even the best lures in the world are not going to catch fish if they're not there. So listen carefully. What is the number 1 sign? No bait fish. No signs of bait fish in the water. What the anglers are doing when they go up and they look in the water, they're looking to see if there's the little minnow swimming or a little, small bait fish swimming around in the water. That's the first thing they're going to look for, because where the food is where the predator fish are going to be. Okay? Another thing they look for is surface action. Minnows popping up and breaking the surface, or even other smaller fish. That's another clue to look for. If you're not seeing that and you're not seeing any bait fish swimming, chances are there isn't very much as far as fishing goes in that particular area. Another indicator are the feeding birds. Birds that, feed on fish. You don't see any of those. They're not there because there's no food there. So why would they be there? All right? And if you happen to be using electronics, of course, you're seeing absolutely nothing on your screen. That is a surefire indicator that no bait, low chance of fish being in that area. So you come across any of those, chances are you'll be better off moving somewhere else. Maybe it's just down the bank. You've got to check these things, okay? What's another indicator that you're fishing in the wrong spot? Well, obviously zero activity. Now, my rule of thumb is about 30 minutes, maybe 40 in a location. If I haven't had any hits, bumps, nips on my line, I'll pick up and go somewhere else. So if there's no activity with, say, 1 to 2 hours, all right, you've had no bites, you've had no follows of your lure, you've had no near misses or missed strikes on your line, then it's probably time for you to get up and move to another location. No action, time to relocate, guys. All right, smart anglers will move. They won't stay in the same spot. The third one is, what does the water look like? Is it lifeless looking, kind of dead looking? Are you just there because it's a pond? Well, if it is dead looking, chances are there's very little fish activity. All right, if you don't see, again, the bait fish swimming, the birds hunting, insect activity on the water, water breaks from fish splashing around, again, don't stay there. Move on to another location. Okay. Also, seasonal signals is another one. Where you fish in the spring, which could be very productive, will not be productive come the summertime because fish move. In the summertime when the water heats up and the days are brighter, Fish go to deeper pools. They also look for cover. And I've mentioned that in another video. You've got to look for these areas, right? So don't be fishing in the same place that you were successful with in the springtime. Now, same thing goes in the fall. If you're successful in an area in the summertime, you're not going to go to that same area in the fall. You're going to go back to the shallows. I know. Spring shallows and fall shallows is what you're looking for. And if you're one of those people that goes out in the wintertime, again, you're going to be looking for the deeper pools. All right? Fish go deep in the winter and the summer, and they stay shallow in the fall and the spring. Now, one of the things you need to keep in mind, especially in the spring, this is the spawning time. Not all places have the same rules, okay? Depending on what state or province you live in, make sure you check your regs that you can fish certain species when they're spawning. Some places, the regs say, no, you can't. That's up to you to check. You get caught, it's going to cost you, all right? So don't forget to check your regs. Now, the fifth reason that you're not catching fish is the water may look wonderful. It may look beautiful, but it's not productive. It happens. I've had that happen to me millions. I think, oh, this is a great place to fish. Look at it. Fish aren't there for the scenery. They're there to survive. Again, you're going to look for the activity I mentioned before. You're going to look for bait fish. You're going to look for insects. You're going to look for current and things like that, okay? Depth changes is another thing you need to look for, all right? If it's a shallow lake and you're seeing none of that, even though it's a beautiful surrounding, don't assume you're going to be able to catch fish there. You've got to look into these things. Take a few minutes out of your time to walk around the area, see where you can find structure, where you can find bait fish activity, those things, and then you'll have a greater chance of catching fish. You really will. It does work. Okay? So those are the 5 reasons that most people don't catch fish, because they don't know where to look or what to do. So just keep these things in mind, all right? Okay? Look for activity. Look for your bait fish in the water, your minnows, your small fish darting around. Look for insect activity on top of the water. Look for water breaks, that is, minnows popping up and splashing around, even larger fish, all right? Look for currents, moving water, okay? And look for structure, look for depth. If you look for all of these things, you should be able to catch fish. And don't forget, if you've been there for over a half hour and you've got absolutely nothing, pack your stumps up and go find another area, okay? So, this is Sharon. Hope this advice helps you catch fish this summer. All right, until the next video, I'm going to say, tight lines.